Welcome to the Seoul vlog. This is all about the best things to do in Seoul. We'll show you the best new spot for a hanbok rental and the best entrance of Gyeongbokgung Palace to beat the crowd. We'll also show you some must-eat food items in Seoul by taking you to breakfast and dinner, and as a bonus, show you some must-visit Seoul cafes. And at the end, I'll tell you my Seoul travel mishap so you can avoid the mistake I make. If you're looking for things to do in your Seoul itinerary and tips and tricks for your Seoul travel plans, keep on watching. We're starting off the day by trying a trendy donut shop. This is just outside our accommodation and they have so many options of donuts and cronuts too. We get the original milk donut. The donut is so huge, it barely fits inside the tiny cup it comes in. It's a Korean style donut that's cut in half with a mixture of regular and icing sugar on the outside. The outside is crispy and not greasy even though it should be deep fried. In the middle is a generous portion of whipped cream that's super fluffy and flavorful.
It's really good. It's so good.
After a sugar rush, we're ready for the best things to do in Seoul. We are taking a 15-minute walk to the palace. On the way to the palace, we walk through the Bukchon Hanok village. It is the most popular Hanok village and much busier than yesterday's Namsango Hanok village. It's right between the two main palaces, making it the best Hanok village to visit before the actual main Seoul palace visit. Bukchon Hanok village seems like a tourist spot, but it's actually home to Seoul residents. There are signs around to remind you, but make sure to be respectful and quiet in the neighborhood. It's amazing to see the traditional Korean style architecture maintained, but also recognizing the modernized interior for the citizens to actually live inside. The Seoul homeowners living here must have buff calves because the incline to get to these houses was insane. At Bukchon Hanok village, the people wearing hanboks or not wearing them were split half and half. This main street is busy with tourists taking pictures, but if you keep walking to the next street over, it's practically empty, and this is where we were able to get this picture without anyone in the background. Next, we're off to the best spot to rent a hanbok, and shortly I'll tell you the reasons why. We walk another 10 minutes towards the main Seoul Palace and we're at Yeonhwadang. This wall is actually the wall for the palace, but first we need to get our hanbok rental. You'll head down a couple set of stairs to get to the hanbok rental shop. This shop feels open and bright. I saw a couple shops that did not have much space, but a lot of hanboks, so inside looked very cramped and dark. This is the men's section. There's options for tops and bottoms. Then it transitions into the women's section. All the colorful skirts, and at the end are options for the top. So if you're like me and you can't make a decision, the staff will help pick out the best colors and style for you. And they have an attention to detail because I'm on the taller side and the first skirt was too short, and rather than have me looking like a spaceship floating, she got a longer skirt for me and even added an extra hoop underskirt to make sure it's nice and puffy. I'll get into the reasons why this hanbok rental shop is the best place to get a hanbok. Like I said earlier, this shop is bright and open, and while the employee was helping me, she mentioned how the shop is newly open, and when I was looking at all the dresses, they were gently used or in new condition. I've read reviews online for other shops where they complain that the dresses were worn down or the bottom of the skirts were quite dirty, but you won't have that issue here because since all the hanboks are fairly new. And last but not least, the location. The hanbok rental shop is literally right across from the street from the National Folk Museum of Korea, which leads into the best entrance of Gyeongbokgung. From Bukchon Hanok village to the hanbok rental shop, there's rarely any people wearing hanbok, so I was doubting whether I should wear one, thinking, oh, I'm going to look so silly wearing one if no one else is wearing one. But once you get inside the palace, 98% are wearing a hanbok, so if you don't wear one, you'll actually feel left out. So if you're an anxious traveler, feel assured that you can get your hanbok, walk across the street, glide into Gyeongbokgung Palace, and when you're ready, you'll be able to change back into your regular clothes right away. Using the National Folk Museum of Korea entrance to get into Gyeongbokgung Palace is the best entrance because it's not going to be overcrowded since it's not the main entrance. Going through the back east entrance, you're able to tour around the palace and get your solo photo shoot without anyone in the background. I was able to get so many pictures and videos without feeling anxious that someone is waiting for that spot or that there's someone else watching. As we get closer and closer to the main area, you can see how busier it gets. Done by then. How many times have you watched Korean #1?
At least 10.
What do you know about the kiwa? The roof tiles, the traditional roof tiles. Episode 1.
It's kind of like a mud mixture that they dry out and then they put into a fire to form it. The traditional places are all handmade, so at this heritage site they would all be handmade.
And then, yeah, it has to be handmade too because the machine-made ones are 25% heavier, so then the roof would collapse.
The entrance fee of Gyeongbokgung is 3,000 won, except if you wear a hanbok, then it's completely free. There's actually 5 palaces in Seoul and all are free admission if you wear a hanbok. So your question might be, if I could pick only one palace, which one should I go to? Which Seoul palace is the best? The battle comes down to 2 main palaces, Gyeongbokgung Palace versus Changdeokgung Palace. Both palaces are next to each other with Bukchon Hanok village right in the middle. Changdeokgung is known for their secret garden tour, but you can only get in if you pre-book tickets or buy the first 50 tickets available for the day. Gyeongbokgung is known as the largest and prettiest palace, so our pick is Gyeongbokgung. Since it's our first time in Seoul and didn't want to have the worry of booking or waiting in the morning for a ticket, but Changdeokgung is definitely on our list for our next time we're in Seoul. Which day of the week that you're going to be visiting the palaces is also a consideration because Gyeongbokgung Palace is closed every Tuesday and Changdeokgung Palace is closed every Monday. We enjoy the historical surroundings in the middle of the busy city of Seoul before heading to one of the most popular neighborhoods in Seoul for dinner. We're in Hongdae and it's a popular area because it's a university neighborhood. You're going to see lots of university-age students and other fellow tourists here. And it's at this moment I make my travel mistake, but you'll have to wait until the end of the video to hear that story. We're going to Tera Kimbap for dinner. It's on the main street of Hongdae and you won't miss the bright yellow exterior. The employee there spoke English and was pretty helpful with the menu. We ordered the tteokbokki, omok, and kimbap combo, plus the tteokgalbi kimbap. It's called Tera Kimbap because it has extra egg in the filling, giving it that plushy castella texture. Side dishes are self-serve. The tteokbokki has a generous portion of omok and cabbage. Next, we make some customized ring at a ring cafe in Hongdae. Whoa, it's already dark out! We have to wait 1 hour for the ring to have the engravings, so we head over to YP Books, which is a book and stationery store. Each location has slightly different inventory, so it's really fun to check out each location and see what's different. You're gonna want to stay for the next part because I share my absolute favorite food in Seoul. Every time anyone asks me what my favorite Korean food was during the whole Korea trip, I answered this. Let's get to breakfast the next day. We're starting off with our absolute favorite restaurant in Seoul. They're open 24 hours, so they make a great breakfast option in Seoul. For side dishes, we have pickled radish, kimchi, seaweed salad, and fish cakes. The menu is all written in Korean, so you're going to want to know the items you're going to order and show a picture or have it written down. You have to try at least once the sweet potato pork cutlet or goguma tonkatsu. It's a tonkatsu with cheese and sweet potato inside. It comes with cabbage salad and Thousand Islandy dressing and of course rice. Rajal got the healthy bibimbap. This one has lettuce, bean sprouts, seaweed, kimchi, and an egg on top. Putting the spicy gochujang sauce in and mix it up to enjoy. Next, we're headed to a couple must-visit cafes in Seoul. We're staying in the Ikseondong area and it's an aesthetic and vibrant neighborhood for cafes, restaurants, and photo booths. And the first Seoul cafe we're headed to is a station-themed cafe. They have amazing detail to the train station theme and even a mini train track where you can take pictures. I get the green grass, which is a matcha cake, and the cafe latte. The cake, as you can see, is layered. Its name is green grass and it's a matcha cake, so it's supposed to represent like the grass, the dirt, the more dirt. Flavor is mild and mellow because it's matcha, but also it just melts and goes so well together. And next we're headed to a fluffy pancake cafe. As soon as you walk in, you can smell the custard egg. I'm pretty excited because it is my first time trying fluffy pancakes, and we knew we wanted a fruit pancake, and you have to order at least one drink with your order. We get the blueberry honey yogurt pancake, and for a caffeine-free option, the grapefruit tea. The tea is tart and not overly sugary. The pancake portion is absolutely huge, more than enough to feed the two of us. The blueberries in the pancakes are fresh, and you get 3 fluffy pancakes with each order. There's a surprise honey ice cream in the middle and a mint sprig resting on top of the blueberry yogurt, and a slight dusting of icing sugar on top. Like I promised, I'll get into my absolute travel mistakes so that hopefully you're able to avoid my blunder. So I had an amazing time getting the hanbok rental and enjoying Gyeongbokgung Palace, but the planned itinerary after was to head to Tongin Market and just stay in the area to explore the neighborhood more. But I felt like I was going to miss out and made an impulsive decision and changed the itinerary to go to Hongdae. I regret it because we never end up being able to go to Tongin Market, and we really love the Korean street food experience. I mean, my first video of our Korea trip is Gwangjang Market. So the lesson is, don't let your emotions cloud your decision and to stick to the planned itinerary for the most part. I'm being positive and planning to visit next time in Korea, so can look forward to that. Thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like and subscribe. My next video will be about spending time with my Korean family, but until then, check out these videos about our first day in Korea and Gwangjang Market. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!